Good evening and welcome to Pakistan Today from our Islamabad studio. I'm Chris Taylor. U.S. President Donald Trump has declared that the ceasefire with Iran is effectively over, saying any further negotiations with Tehran would only waste time. Speaking alongside NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in Ankara, Trump reiterated that Iran must never acquire nuclear weapons and said the United States would continue protecting its national interests. He also criticized NATO allies for not contributing enough to collective defense, noting that Washington remains the alliance's largest financial contributor and urging member states to increase their defense spending. Meanwhile, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has urged NATO members to preserve unity, saying a strong alliance is vital for collective security. Addressing the NATO summit in Ankara, Erdogan called for closer coordination among allies and warned against actions that could weaken transatlantic relations. He expressed hope that the summit would strengthen peace, stability, and international cooperation. On the second day of the gathering, Erdogan and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte welcomed world leaders as discussions continued on global security, Ukraine, and NATO's future defense strategy. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has accused the United States of repeatedly violating its understanding with Iran, insisting that the era of intimidation is over and that Tehran will not bow to pressure. He cited U.S. strikes on Iran, renewed sanctions on Iranian oil exports, threats of further military action, alleged violations involving the Strait of Hormuz, and continued Israeli attacks on Lebanon as examples of breached commitments. Senior Iranian lawmaker Ebrahim Azizi also said Washington must recognize what he described as a new Iranian order in the Strait of Hormuz. Qatar and China have expressed deep concern over escalating tensions between Iran and the United States, urging all parties to exercise restraint and remain committed to diplomacy. Qatar condemned Iran's attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait, warning that any further escalation could threaten regional peace and stability. Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said renewed conflict in the Middle East serves no one's interests, stressing that military action cannot resolve the crisis and calling for dialogue to reduce tensions. Pakistan's military says India is behind the recent wave of terrorism in Balochistan, accusing New Delhi of attempting to spread fear and instability among civilians across the province. Speaking during a media briefing, Director General ISPR, Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, said the attacks were part of what he described as a coordinated campaign to undermine peace and security in Balochistan. He praised both the security forces and the local population for responding with courage and resilience in the face of the violence. According to the DGISPR, security forces carried out multiple operations against the attackers, killing 54 terrorists. He also confirmed that 42 people, including members of the security forces, embraced martyrdom during the recent wave of attacks. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has expressed deep sorrow over the loss of lives and widespread destruction caused by severe storms, tornadoes, landslides, and heavy rainfall in China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, Hubei, and Gansu provinces. In a message posted on X, the Prime Minister extended heartfelt condolences to Chinese President Xi Jinping, the Chinese government, and the bereaved families. He reaffirmed Pakistan's solidarity with the people of China, prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured, and wished success for ongoing rescue and relief operations. Pakistan's Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi has met Chinese Vice Minister of Public Security Ling Zhifeng at the United Nations headquarters, where both sides reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening counter-terrorism cooperation and the Pakistan-China strategic partnership. The two leaders agreed to expand collaboration on internal security, border management, illegal immigration, and counter-narcotics efforts. Mohsin Naqvi emphasized the importance of disrupting terrorist financing and highlighted Pakistan's Special Protection Unit responsible for the security of Chinese nationals. The Chinese minister praised Pakistan's sacrifices in the fight against terrorism. Finally, the FIFA World Cup quarter-final lineup is now complete, with 8 teams remaining in the race for football's biggest prize. Following a rest day, the knockout stage resumes on the 10th of July when France face Morocco in the opening quarter-final. Spain will take on Belgium on Saturday, while Sunday's fixtures will see Norway face England and Argentina meet Switzerland. All 8 teams are now preparing for decisive matches as they compete for places in the semi-finals. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today. I'm Chris Taylor.